Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how you can connect to the instance that you've launched in FME Cloud. So this is when you want to connect to your FME Server instance via the web interface, the REST API, and also Workbench as well. So I'm assuming that you've launched an instance, and if all you need to do is click on the instance that you've launched in the top list, and it populates this bottom panel. So then we need to basically launch the login page for the FME Server interface, because this is each one of these rows in this top table, it represents a running FME Server instance. So all you need to do is click on this URL here that I've highlighted on the bottom, staging.-save-test.fme cloud. The URL will be different for your instance, obviously. Okay, so this gives me the login page for the FME Server web interface. So I need to enter a username and password here, and to get that I need to go back to my management console. And so what you need to do is go into connect, and I've already done it, but if you hadn't done it, under download credentials here there'd be a link that says you can download the credentials. You download those credentials and you can only do that once. Once you download the credentials once, we actually delete them off our infrastructure, and you can't download them anymore, and indeed we can't even actually tell you what the username and password is, so don't lose those. You can also download the credentials from within this action menu. Again, I've already done it, so the link's gone, but it would say download credentials. Once you download the credentials, you get a file that looks like this. Superuser is the username, and here's the password. So I can go superuser, and paste my password in. And now that logs you into the web interface. So what we actually recommend you do now, rather than using that super user password everywhere, because that's got the most permissions possible, is go into security and create your own new user. So I could create one called Stuart, and you choose a role. So you could say this person is just an author. All you can do is publish to the server, and you'll have to look in more detail about the FME Server security in the doc, but it is a good practice to do that and create your own users. Okay, so now we've connected via the web interface. The other region you might want to connect is via the REST API. To do that, you just go to /FME REST after the URL. And this is if you want to develop against FME Server. Again, this is kind of an interactive API. If you want to make it actually interactive, you need to log in and get a token. So all you do here again is enter the super user or whatever username and password you created, look up the token. So there's the token, and I can close that. And now this token is basically going to be used if you want to do any of the queries here. You can get the topics, try it out, and it will actually work and return the valid data. The other area you might want to connect to aid in your workflows obviously is Workbench. So here's a workspace I have. If I want to publish this to FME Server, I simply go File, Publish to FME Server, and you need to enter the URL again from the web interface. If I go back here, you could just copy the URL here, or you could also get the URL from here, paste that in there, enter the username and password. So I could use superuser. Here's the password. Connect. And then we'll call this exercise 3B complete. Put them in the Stuart repository. Excuse me. And now, basically you just click publish. And if we now go to back to the FME Server web page, you'll be able to see the repository in the workspace that we've just uploaded. So we placed it in the Stuart repository, and we called it 3B. So it's there. So that's how you connect to and publish data to and from an FME Cloud instance.